Welcome to Spa Marketing School. This is a brand new series brought to you by Atto Aesthetics, where we are sharing marketing strategies, tips, and tricks that are going to help you bring more profit into your business in 15 minutes or less. Today, I'm joined by Christy from Team Atto. She does all the things in our business, and we're going to be talking about live chat. Now, live chat is a piece of AI software, and I really wanted to kick this off or start this off by saying that incorporating AI into your business in 2025 is not it's not an option. It's something that needs to happen if you want to be able to survive this transition that we're going through. And I know that sounds a bit dramatic, but the reality is we are in such a transformational time right now. It's actually a really exciting time as long as you are kind of keeping up with the shifts and changes. My belief around AI is that we are looking to incorporate this where it makes sense in your business so that you can actually spend the time that you save showing up in your community, connecting with your clients, building real face-to-face connections and relationships. Because content is, you can create a blog post in about 2 minutes. You can create all your social content in about 2 minutes. The things that you are able to do with technology today is absolutely incredible. And so the spas that are going to thrive and the spas that are going to win are going to be the ones that focus on building community and connections and relationships. So we're leading with this, not to say we have to automate and dehumanize everything. It's actually quite the opposite. It's how can we find what pieces of software or how we're going to incorporate ChatGPT into the things that we're doing that are going to help us be more productive, be more efficient, and save more time in our business. So with that long intro, Christy, welcome. Welcome to the show. And tell us about live chat. Like, what is this piece of software?
Okay, so we've been using live chat since maybe November, December. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little bit longer. But live chat is a real-time communication tool that can be used to basically get answers to customers' questions pretty much immediately, right? So
And this is a
you can
plug-in on
use
your website, correct?
correct. Yep. So it'll appear as like a little bubble in like for our website, it's the bottom right-hand corner. It can be customized however you want. You can get whatever information you'd like. But basically, we have people come to the website and today people want answers right away. So if they're going to come to your website, they may want to know more information about a service you offer. Or like for us, we get a lot of questions like book recommendations or what services do you offer? And it's a really quick way for them to get answers, right? So it alleviates an email possibly or a phone call, which, the inbox is always, super full, and phone calls, if you don't have a front desk person, that's just another to do on your list.
So as we've been incorporating this, so for you are head of fulfillment, you are customer support. So your role would most closely relate to the day-to-day tasks of someone who's kind of managing the front desk and looking at that arena. You're going to be the first point of connection with our clients when they're trying to get more information, and you're helping to answer all of their questions. You also help me put one foot in front of the other every single day, but it's the day-to-day things that you're doing with our clients. How has this helped you in your workload and I know there's good and bad and we're going to share both, but what has been your experience with having this tool? Has it enhanced your productivity? Has it been easier? Has it been harder? Like what has been the experience?
So I think it's maybe both in some ways, at least until like current day. I think now it's helping once it's been trained. But essentially during my work hours, I have live chat turned on and I'm the one answering all of the questions. So I think it's a lot easier than getting an email because you're just answering a question, right? It's not like a fully formulated email that needs to be structured. It's someone asking a
Mhm.
question and I can very quickly answer them. Um, so in that sense, I feel like it's made it easier. Um, but again, after hours, this is likely going to send everyone to the inbox if they don't get their question answered. But I think overall, it certainly helped our business. And I think when it relates to spa businesses, especially since you can have them share your booking link and answering questions that way, this is a really great way, for a solo who doesn't have a front desk person, like this could be huge. For someone who does have a front desk person, it's still great because anyone who's coming to your website, I forget how long people actually spend on a website if they don't find what they're looking for,
Oh,
but
it's like
this is
less than a
great.
minute. It's
Right,
it's
so
super
now they
quick.
can ask a question and they can get that answer back right away from someone who's on live chat or the chatbot that you've trained to answer those questions.
So let's talk about training because I think you're kind of alluding to now it makes my life easier, but in the beginning it was like, going through the growing pains or trying to figure it out. I think the training is the answer, right? Is understanding how are you training this because what the chatbot is doing essentially is scanning your website for answers, right? And so
Mhm.
it's just going to pull whatever answers it believes. I know some of the problems we were having is that we have 400 plus episodes and it would scan through episodes from like episode 3, which some of the content in there is maybe not relevant to what's happening
Absolutely.
today, right? And so that, was something that we needed to train. Were there any other types of things that came up that you were just like, as red flags or things that, oh, if we would have known now what we would have known then, like, would we have uploaded our top 10 most common questions? Would we have, what types of things would we have done in the beginning, looking back?
Yeah, I think gathering the information that you want to train your bot with, having that up front is probably the most important. So it's not just getting the program, setting it live, and then letting it make mistakes. Like it's going to say some things that you don't like in the very
Mm.
beginning, and that's fine. Like you need to change them and make them sound like your voice. But I think just like ChatGPT and like uploading any type of document that you can um, is going to be helpful. What I love about training and uploading documents, you can select whether it's internal or external, which is great because oftentimes we have a lot of paid programming and things like that that, you need to pay for to get, but it's still really great information for your bot to understand in order to be able to answer questions.
About courses and programs. So for a spa, um, your brand style guide is absolutely something to upload. Um,
Mhm.
if you have any type of policies, so your cancellation policy, your refund policy, um,
Yeah.
if if there's what are the product lines that you carry? What are the contraindications for those product lines? What are the, like really think about in a really broad way, um, what can you feed to this chatbot to help it to understand? And I know kind of previously, before AI kind of entered our world in such a big way, one of the things that we were doing or teaching was having email draft templates or having, and that still is relevant to a certain degree, depending on what you're using. But what are the most common questions that you get? And having those in an email template, uploading those and your answers. If
Yeah.
if you're having an event and you have a script for your front desk, what's the event script? Can you upload that information to chat? Really try and think about all of these different ways because it is true. The more that you train it on your voice, the better it's going to be to support you in this next aspect. What else is important for people to know about live chat specifically?
Um, I think just to really quickly go back about this being helpful, I think at the end of every like sequence or flow to something, I do think that if you can't get a question answered, because I think we've all been on those bots where you're like so frustrated because either you're not asking it correctly or like the keywords aren't working, um, to still send them to your inbox, right? So if after 2 attempts we can't, like the bot can't understand, I've created like a canned response, like, oh, I'm so sorry, like if you could please email hello at Auto Aesthetics and let us know, what your questions are. We'll get them answered as soon as possible. So again, if it isn't working, you'll get an email. So we're still going to get all of those questions answered. I think it's important to remember too that your bot is not a human. So you can train it and you can, like for us, I tried to make our bot sound kind and loving and lots of emojis, just like we tried to do in the inbox. But at the end of the day, it's just remember that it's a tool to help you, and human connection is always going to be number one.
Hmm. So important. Um, Anything that you want to share? I know we kind of talked about the things that went wrong. How has it helped you? What are some of the things that have been going right? What are some of the things that have made it easier? Has it lightened the email inbox? There's obviously like faster response time, but for a spa owner that's looking at, hey, is this something that I want to invest my time in up front? Um, is it worth it?
Absolutely. I think that so long as your website is up to date, I think it's a great tool to have. I also think it's a good reminder to keep your website up to date, right? So
Yeah.
live chat isn't something that you can just purchase, set up, and be done with, right? It's something that, I have a weekly task that I still go back in and look at the responses that the bot has pushed out, because, you constantly have to train, just like employees, you constantly have to train them and update them. So it's a really good reminder that if you see a response that happened, it might be, oh, I'm not offering that service anymore, or maybe it's irrelevant. So that's when you go back into and train your bot and remove that from your website or get your website updated. Overall, I think with the inbox, I do feel like it will help any business, whether you have a front desk person or not. I think it's a great tool, um, to use for anyone.
For that speed, that convenience of helping our clients get their questions answered as quickly as possible.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. So check out live chat. We have the links for you in this episode. Just click on those, check them out, and really be thoughtful and intentional in how you are incorporating AI into your business. This is not, as Christy was saying, this is not set it and forget it. This is something that does need to be trained, does need to be developed with your own brand voice. But incorporating AI is not just chat GPT writing some social captions for you. It's not just creating some blog posts. We really want to look at how we can streamline and elevate the customer experience when saving us time. So, again, we can be out there having that human to human connection in our communities. That is going to be the winning strategy for spas moving forward. All right, Christy, thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you next week.